there, YouTube. This is Suzanne and welcome to my channel. Today I want to ask you one question, which is, what would you do if you had to start over? About 30 days ago, I was asked this very question where my life began to change. And I'll get into that story as I want to thank some individuals, and I have my notes here somewhere, where I was watching some YouTube channels maybe about 30 days ago when this all began, and there were some videos in regards to, leaving your 9 to 5 and getting yourself on YouTube. Now, I was on YouTube before, but both times when I was on YouTube, I got pulled away to go do a job, and I really didn't focus on the channel. So now the times have changed. First of all, I want to thank or give glory to God, because without him, I would not be here. And he has brought me through from some very tough times in my life. And I also want to thank 3 ladies for their channel, because the first one was Tommy Bites Life, I think it was. And she talked about how she's over 50 and how, she's no longer at a 9 to 5. The second person, which I believe is trending right now, which is Dash, I believe it is. She was talking about her story, and then she was like, I saw a video a couple of days ago indicating that, she was talking about don't sell yourself short with a 9 to 5. Well, the third person is Dynamic Doings. She also talked about, getting on YouTube because she had actually seen Dash's video, and that really inspired me to get back onto YouTube. Now, with that, I didn't know what to think about. I didn't know which way to go. So as I was listening to the video, she was talking about if you don't know what to do, then basically you need to get on your knees and cry out to the Lord and ask him what it is to do. So I did that. After a few days of, I guess, just sitting down, contemplating, and then waiting, I was writing on my blog about mindset change and procrastination. My husband came to me, that's Pete. He came to me and he said, why don't you talk about your experience of what happened to you and how it has helped you along your journey? So I said, okay, great. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I'm here. So with all that said, in the title is, what would you do if you had to restart your life? Basically, I'm restarting at the age of 48. About 30 days ago, again, my life changed. Well, here is my story. On September 27th, 2024, my job was coming to an end. Okay, it was the last day that I was working at this agency. I was a contract worker. I've been told a year before that my position was going to end, but we didn't know at the time when. But 90 days prior to that, I was notified that I was going to end on that Friday. So what I did is I went up to the office for a meeting like usual. And around 2:15 p.m., I started logging off of my computer. I reset my phone because that's what IT told us to do. And I was heading out the door. But as I put my equipment onto my supervisor's or my director's desk, I thanked her for the opportunity. I gave her a hug and I started to walk out. As I headed down the hall, I saw one of the other managers of another program who was about 4 doors down from my director. And she said, man, I was hoping I'd run into you. I heard you were leaving. And I said, yeah, I'm leaving right now. I'm heading out the door. And she's like, oh man, what are you going to do? I'm kind of sad that they're not, they couldn't even create a position for you. And I'm standing there and I'm just looking at her. And she's saying to me, I'm really sorry that this is happening to you, that you're leaving without a job. Now hold on. I never told her that I didn't have a job. I responded, but I told her, I'm not sorry that this is happening to me. I'm happy that it's happening for me. There's a difference. The second thing is, I'm not really starting over. I'm restarting something I began in 2018, but never took the time to really work on it. And now I have the time to concentrate not only on what I started before, but on myself, because that's where it really begins. You need to work on your skills, like meeting me, needed to work on my skills so that I can now spill over and share what my experiences with myself or the things that I've gone through with other people. Last, I was telling her that I'm going to go work for myself. And I said, this journey of the 9 to 5, it has come to an end. And me trying to stay until the last hour, because I was supposed to work until 4, and it didn't work out that way, that I ended up turning my equipment in maybe about 2:30. I said, this is a journey that I needed to go on or start on, and I needed to make sure that I continue. Okay, I now don't just say, oh, I'm going on a journey, and then next thing you know, at another 9 to 5. This was something that I said I was going to work at and complete, and then, expand my business. So after I was talking with her in the hallway, she says, I love, the fact that you're going to work for yourself. What are you going to do? And I told her, and then she says to me, okay, well, since you're going to do this, there's no sense in me telling you that I wish you good luck, because she said, already, I know you're going to do well. And then she said, you know what? Let's exchange numbers, because I definitely want to keep in contact with you. And after we did that, I left. I walked down the hall and went to the elevator and headed out the door. Okay, so now that I headed out the door, there's a pathway that is going towards my car. So it's like a little walkway. It's a concrete at the edge of the parking lot. So I go to the edge of the parking lot. I get in my car. All right, I go to the passenger side. I take off my shawl, and then I put my bag and my shawl on the seat. I close the door. I go around to the edge, I go around to the other side where I'm going in the car. I open the door. I sit down. I put my seatbelt on. I put the key in the ignition, and right there and then, I feel like a little tear in the corner of my eye. And I was like, okay, well, I have a choice here. I said, oh my gosh, it's really starting to set in now that I will not be coming back or logging in on Monday. This was a definite change. And this is just basically going to change my life forever. So I sit there and I think to myself, okay, so what are you going to do? So what happens when I go home? And I said, really and truly, I do not want to start crying, because this is supposed to be a journey now that I was going to start on. It's something new, it's something fresh, and something that has great potential. But I also thought to myself, am I going to go home and wallow in sadness? Am I going to go home and, eat my feelings in half a pint of vanilla and chocolate chip ice cream? No, maybe half a pint, but not a full pint. But I said, I'm not going to go home and cry. I'm going to enjoy my time. Yes, I'm going to have my little ice cream treat. And then I'm going to really enjoy and be grateful for all of the opportunities I've had, and be mindful and look around and really enjoy the scenery, the weather, just enjoy life in general. Because it was Friday, it was movie night at home. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me some popcorn. I'm going to relax a little bit. And my husband had called me earlier that day, and he said, look, we're going to go out and celebrate to eat. We're not going to use it as a time where we're going to be sad about anything. Okay, it's a new journey. We're going to celebrate. So here's the kicker, and this is where my first lesson really comes into play. I come out, I'm actually backing out of the parking space. Okay, and the driveway or the parking lot is in a U shape. So I back out of the parking space, and where I was parked, you actually come in and you had to go around in a U shape to go out. So I'm passing the building, and now as I'm getting further away from the building, I can see the building in my rear view mirror. And to me, it's getting smaller. And right there and then, a thought came to me that as I'm driving away, just like when you drive off the lot of a car, like when you go to buy a car and you drive off the car lot, what do people tell you? They tell you that as soon as you drive off the lot, the car depreciates in value. Well, I didn't see myself depreciating in value. As I was seeing that the image in my rearview mirror of the agency that I just left was getting smaller, I was like, you know what? To me, they're depreciating in value because they just let a couple of really good, valuable employees go, just walk out the door. We have a certain skill set, and, I doubt that either one of us is going to go back and say, well, can I work here? I'm not going to do that. And someone said, well, never say never. I was like, I'm going to make it that I don't go back. And so I said, I'm going to do that. So as I'm driving out and I'm going out from the building, the parking lot, I should say, I'm going out and I'm leaving and I'm heading on the road, and I make that left to go home, to get on the street, to drive home. And I felt such a weight come off of my shoulder, and everything just started to look so bright, almost like I was sensitized to my environment, because I was like, what? Trees? Oh my gosh, everything looks so great. And as I was driving home and I was on that road and thinking to myself, I am now on the journey towards reaching my goals. So I want to say this, my overall lesson and my answer to that question, what would you do if I had to, like I had to restart my life, which I actually have to in some way, shape, form, or, some fashion. What I have to do for me to restart is to reset, have a mindset shift. And that meant that I had to now view my circumstance in a different way so that I would have a more positive or different outcome, so that I can attain the success that I desire. If this resonates with you, comment down below. If you had to restart or start again, what would you do? I would love to get to know you. Thank you so much for listening. If this resonated with you, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell. Stay tuned for more videos, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff that happened to me in the last 30 days and the other lessons that I've learned. I would love to share that with you. And thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.